Before I start, I just want to say a big thank you to Solihull College, because I haven't been on this campus since summer 1993, when I walked out clutching my HND in travel and tourism and a golden ticket to do a degree in 2 years at Cheltenham, what was then Cheltenham College, and I did a degree in rural planning and tourism management. And when I applied to the college, I just wanted to do a 1-year course in travel agency. I was a mature student at the grand age of 24. I'd been working in hospitality. And I had no idea when I sort of applied that I got a letter back saying, why don't you do a HND? I was like, oh, really? Could I? And then I came and did. I've had a fantastic time here. Then got the opportunity to do a degree in 2 years instead of 3. Had no idea that that was where it's going to take me. And look at me now, you know, to the dizzying heights of being an employment manager. But there's been lots of other things that have happened. So I totally love this work and working in this world because I've lived it, as of so many people here, and that's, you know, we have our passion. So I'm going to talk to you today about the team that I run in Birmingham City Council. We're inside Employment and Skills Service. It's called the Employment Access Team. Some of you may have heard of it, some of you may have not. I think I'm going to get a lot of emails after this presentation, so I'm a bit nervous. The EAT logo is on all of these slides. We have our own logo. This team has been in existence within the council since 2008, and not a lot of things have survived that long inside Birmingham City Council, particularly in recent years, and I'm determined that the team will carry on for another 3 years so that we can celebrate 20s. And I'm really privileged to be inheriting this, because so many people have worked on this model over the years, and it's had its ups and downs, obviously within local authority funding. And we need to keep changing and adapting. But at the core of the team are these three, you know, a vision and 3 purposes. We are driving inclusive growth, so we sit between planning and region and employment and skills. And we support investors, so we work with the Combined Authority and the West Midlands Growth Company. And it's all about really ensuring that the investment and the economic growth of Birmingham is benefiting the communities, the people, and the next generation that need these opportunities. And it's, you know, inclusive growth, shared prosperity, whatever other buzzwords we want to call it. And we also work with employers around not just their recruitment and their skills training, but supporting them with their own corporate social value objectives, and specifically workforce diversity, which Matthew and the team have just been talking about, and to, you know, to help to you know, support employers, exactly what we've been just talking about, to diversify their workforce, see the benefits of that. Oh, sorry, skipped over. This is in a nutshell our delivery model. So we've got a team that work with planning and region. Every single planning application, pretty much, you know, that comes through into Birmingham City Council, we see and we decide whether or not we're going to put an employment and skills condition on that, and that's, we're moving toward a social value condition on that. So we'll be talking about employment and skills, working with communities, net zero, holistic inclusive growth sort of stuff. We also work with our procurement team, so we work with Birmingham City Council contractors, and we're happy to work with anyone that wants to sign up to the Birmingham Charter Social Value Agreement as well. We then pass those contractors and developers and development partners that come through any of those routes that have some kind of social value jobs and skills agreement to deliver for the council. We then support them through employer account management, and then we link them into all of you guys, which is far too many logos to put on here. Obviously we work with the ladder, we work with the colleges, we work with DWP. So we then have this, what I call an ask and an offer. We're asking them to set some targets and have some contractual and planning conditions around working with us to drive inclusive growth. But we also have this offer of support, and that links into all the partners. Place. This is the city centre. Obviously, the scale of development in Birmingham, particularly in the city centre, is just, you know, it's just, you know, unprecedented at the moment. I'm largely kind of trying to cut the city centre into an east and west. So east side, Digbeth, we're just setting up a new social value forum for the Digbeth diggers, the construction companies that are working on the east side, so we can link them into the East Birmingham Inclusive Growth Programme, and broadly trying to link this part of the city into what we call the Ladywood and West area. Broadly, just to try to manage all the activity. But obviously, it's not just the city centre. We've got huge development going on in the south, down in Longbridge still, which is crossing over with Bromsgrove District Council. So we're working with them. And we're also got Pedimore. I don't know if any of you know the Pedimore Employment Park up at Minworth. And then we've got Langley Housing, a whole new community. 7,500 houses, new schools, new community centres being built. We're working with all of those developers across the city. We track all the agreements. So we've currently got 60 live developments that have got jobs and skills targets to meet for us. More, I think these numbers are probably a little bit out of date, but only about by probably 6 months. We've captured over 2,500 opportunities. That's jobs, apprenticeships, work experience placements, graduate opportunities. We've got another 60 plus coming through the planning system. We also put end use clauses on the planning conditions. So Pedimore, Amazon have inherited a Pedimore local employment strategy. It's quite hard to obligate someone like Amazon. So obviously a lot of this is about relationships, not just conditions. And I'll talk about in a moment about the employers in the Paradise estate. For those of you that don't know Birmingham City Centre, that's kind of the commercial enterprise zone where we've got Goldman Sachs and Price Waterhouse and all the big global corporates. We also work with HS2 as job brokerage partners as well. We've got Ladywood Housing Regeneration, which has just started. So we're working with Berkeley Homes now. They're in on the community, and we're trying to feed jobs to the partnership manager to help the residents of the housing estates start to see that there are opportunities coming for them, both in construction and across the city centre. And there's also going to be a big housing regen going on in the south of the city at Druids Heath. So we're involved in all of that. I won't go through all this because I think you all know it, but we're obviously driven to try to address some of the top employment skills policy challenges that we've got in Birmingham, and particularly around working with the employers and helping them to access the skills that they need, and then to develop the skills of our residents so that it attracts more investors. And this is how we sell ourselves to employers. But obviously, behind the scenes, we're all part of the same agenda in trying to tackle unemployment, skill shortages and underemployment, as Mafia was talking about. Increase apprenticeship opportunities, and also looking at low pay and trying to work with good employers and encourage the real living wage. So how do we do that? We have a free bespoke recruitment service. So the team, as I said, has been in existence since 2008, and the team actually recruited for the Bullring and Grand Central when that was being built. Obviously there was construction jobs, but there was all the retail and hospitality jobs that came with that. So don't do it on our own. We work with partners, we work with DWP, we work with National Career Services, colleges, etc. And this is the point of the EAT team, is that we work with all of our partners, and we go out into communities, and we work with third sector partners as well. So when there are opportunities like this, we go into the communities and make sure that these opportunities are visible, and we have the data and the MI to be able to know which communities we really want to target, whether that's Ladywood or Druids Heath, or frankly, we know where the unemployment hotspots are, we know where the needs are. So it's all very much data driven, but we don't talk about that so much to the employers. We just say we can find the hidden talent, and they know what we mean by that. They could recruit from anywhere, but what they're doing with their recruiting with us is exactly what we've been talking about today, about diversifying their workforce and supporting people who may not get into those jobs without this sort of support. And we hide the wiring, that's all of you lot. So we say, we've got loads of partners, but you can talk to us and we'll bring in the partners that can help. You don't need to talk to all the colleges and EWP, you can just talk to us and we'll bring the partnership in. We've just been, the team has been, I've only been here for 3 years and we've been without staff. I'm just rebuilding the team now. We've just been recruiting for BT, so BT 999 call handlers. They came to us not because they couldn't recruit people, but because they wanted to diversify their workforce. A lot of young people go into those jobs. Obviously, there's quite a high turnover. I think you can only do that sort of job for a year or two at the most. But they wanted to attract people from different communities with different lived experiences. They wanted older people, they wanted people with lived experience, people with different languages, people with the culture that you know, can talk to the people from Birmingham who were calling into 999. So we've just done we're still doing some campaigns with them, and we've been able to see a 28% conversion rate in terms of the people that we've put forward. We do all the sifting, the sorting, the screening. When we put candidates forward, we know that they are the right people for the job and that they're ready for interview for that job. And that's how we support. And we support people who are underemployed, unemployed, whatever barriers they've got. If we know they've got the right skills, we give them the confidence and the preparation to know that they can get this job. The rest is then up to them, obviously, at interview. We've just launched a specific offer to employers in the Paradise complex, as I call it. It sounds like an industrial complex. It's an estate. As I say, we've got all the corporates there, but we're also working with the estate managers, MEPC, in terms of all the jobs that are coming through in terms of security, reception, building facilities. 3 Chamberlain Square is the next building in Paradise, which has just been completed. We're going to be recruiting for all the building staff for that. So we have got some other developments. As I said, we work with all the developments. I did have another slide, which I think was a picture of Smithfield, really, just because I wanted to show it off. So we are about to set up the skills working group with Lend-Lease on Smithfield. Again, if those of you don't know what that is, it's a 9-hectare regeneration new city part of the city centre in Birmingham, where the old wholesale markets were. We've been waiting for a long time for this to start to happen.
So is this near Digbeth?
Yeah. It's that big empty wasteland that's waiting. Yeah, where they did the beach, the volleyball for the Commonwealth Games, and where all the parties were and stuff. So obviously that's a huge development. It's over a long time, but there's construction, there's meanwhile uses, there's going to be skills facilities on there. There's support for creative, because obviously it's linked to Digbeth, where we've got the media and creative sector. So, I mean, that's just a flavour. I obviously don't want to go on too much about all the other stuff we've got coming forward. As you can imagine, in Birmingham, there's huge amounts of new jobs coming forward. But that's our brokerage and employer engagement model, which works really well. I really believe in it. And when I worked in South London, there was something similar was set up as well down in the South Bank. Just what we've been talking about on the tables today is that employers of every size really kind of appreciate the support with the recruitment for free, and that's sort of the carrot that we dangle, and then we start to build a relationship, and then we start to ask them about their priorities and apprenticeships and workforce training and which partners can help them, and we bring those in. So we're open for partnership. Please contact me if you want to start engaging with Birmingham employers in any sector, because we can probably are working with them. Okay, thank you.